Yep.
G'day guys and girls, we're back on the guards again. I'm going to show you the second stage. It's all about getting the panels cut so that they fit. We've done these ones already, but you remember the black panels fitted over the top. The first thing to do is to cut this line here. Make sure it's nice and even on your mud guard. Make sure you've got clean metal at the back, that there's no corrosion that you're going to run into. And then you'll use the clamps to clamp your panel over the top. And then you'll come in from behind and you'll scribe the line from behind on this panel so that you can take the excess metal off and get it to fit. If you scribe when it's all clamped together, you get a perfect line. And there won't be much adjustment have to be done when you actually go to fit it up to weld it. This has got the little tacks on it already. So to do that and to get the position for this to sit, you need a template. So while one of the other guards was still together and I had the right correct length on the mud guard here, I set this template up and we drew it, and it's from the top all the way down the arch to the base of the guard. And that tells you what distance you need for here. I'll just clamp that in position so you can see what we're talking about. And at the top. So that governs where the guard sits down the bottom and what angle it sits on. Then you have to measure it so that you don't make it too short or too long here on this point. You have to measure it from the top of the guard across to that corner. And you get your measurement from the old guard, which was 83.5, which is what that is there now. Then you know that that's as close as it's going to be for you. You can't get it much better than that. But again, we only tack it first, then we'll fit it to the car, make sure it's right. And the other thing you need to keep an eye on too is this transition in the arch. Make sure that that curve is doing what it's supposed to do. It doesn't come down here and go there, or down here and go here. You need a nice transition there. So the perfect fit is what it's all about with the tip. You can see here that spot weld is just fusing the two bits of metal together. There's no filler rod in that at all. All you're doing is joining the two bits of metal. Most of this join right across here, because it's a perfect fit, will not keyhole out, and it'll just be a transition seam weld all the way along. Of course you don't do it in one go, you only do it in like 10mm increments, and then you just progress and away you go. Anyway, I'll show you a bit of that later on. So you've got to make sure all your pieces are extremely clean as well. Pull those clamps off again and get this out of the way. I'm going to swing this over so that you can see the inside of it. Get a look at the inside of here. Okay, we've got a little bit of corrosion here, but we couldn't, that was as clean as it would come. But you look right across here, we've got that metal from the original guard piece as clean as you can get it. If you don't clean all that junk off there, this weld is not going to do what you want it to do. You'll get imperfections into the weld and it'll make it brittle and it won't join like it's supposed to join. So everything's got to be super clean. If you don't clean it, you're disadvantaging yourself. Some people, you get in there welding and go, why isn't it working? What does it do that for? Why does it pop out? It's because it's not clean. So you might be able to get a bit of a look at the angle from over here. You can see the transition of that and how flat and nice that weld's going to be by the time it's finished. very easy to see that it's going to be a lot better than a MIG. There's no high build. Once you get it tacked to that stage, you're ready to put it back on the car and actually have a look how it fits. So this little flange piece here that's got to be folded over eventually once the frame goes into the back of it, you just need to tap that down a little bit because you want it to fit onto the car, so it just needs to come in into where it's supposed to be at. At that angle, this will fit on the car. You don't have to worry about that edge sticking out because it will fit on the car and show you where the fit is happening. So we've got one on the car. We've got the left hand side on the car. It's been spot welded and put in place, ready to go. You can see our gap line is where it's supposed to be. A little bit of a transition difference there, but once that gets folded over you can see a lot better, but it's pretty close to where it needs to be all the way up. The guard's fitting the way it's supposed to be. You're also getting the straight transition all the way through here on the sill. If you make this too long, when it comes along here it's going to be sitting lower there. So everything's nice and even, and we've also got the arch sitting the way it's supposed to sit as well. A nice transition around there. These rare spare parts, when you get them, are split at the bottom. They've got their opening. You need to do some work in there to get that organised. Once it's all finished, you don't worry about that until the inner guard goes back inside. Anyway, that's what she starts to look like. The beauty of the TIG weld is too, once you look on the inside and this guard's actually painted, you will not be able to tell it's even been done. That's what we always like to achieve. Alrighty, let's show you a few little tacks on this one with the welder. This is the other thing, it just reminded me, this is a test piece that I did the other day. So you can see it, you look along that, that's flat as a tack. And it's got plenty of penetration, but I wanted to show you something else as well. The beauty of that being black steel in there and not a high carbon steel, this is still very malleable like it's supposed to be. You want to be able to shape this across the top of the weld. So I'll give you an example, I'll show you how good this actually is. We'll come over to the vise here. So if that was a MIG weld, there's no way you'd be able to do this. So that's planishing just as if it was one piece of metal. You can see the inside, still flat as a tack and still all joined. That's the beauty of it. And therefore when you go to actually finalise the weld, it's just a slight sand either side of that, a small skim of bog, and it's filled in and then the job's done. You haven't got that much bog sitting in the bloody repair because the MIG weld's sitting over the top. Okay, MIG welding. It's okay on an old car, you know, you've probably got something that's only worth, I don't know, 20 grand when it's finished. But if you're going to do a car like this one, well and truly worth TIG welding everything. You'll get to the stage where once these guards are finished, you won't even be able to tell. They'll look factory and they'll be just like factory. And that's the reason why. Just beautiful. It's amazing what you can do with that. Alrighty, let's might have to move your coffee there, mate. Sorry, Mr. Cameraman.
It's a bit grim, mate.
Let's do a quick demo on the welding, just to show you how easy this is. Some gloves on. So I use my long reach C-clamp to get onto it. So we want to run some more tacks along here. So you need to have the clamp reasonably close to where you're going to weld. Otherwise, when you touch it with the torch, the pieces want to separate. They do that, and that's so annoying. Everybody's actually experienced that, I'm sure, even with a MIG. So you don't want that to happen. You want them to stay nice and tight, which is what we've got there. And because the clamp's on it, when the heat goes in, they'll stay where they're supposed to stay. Like my purple hair, mate?
Flash.
Yeah. I'll put that on because the sunlight comes in from the back and it gets a reflection. I can't see what I'm doing. There was one of my man. Earth happening. Get my seated position, make sure you're comfortable. And away we go. So I have the wire just in case it does keyhole out, but we should be okay here. It's a nice good join. Give the torch a bit of a wiggle to encourage the metal on either side to come across. And that's as simple as that. There's one tack. Move your clamp along a little bit more. And we'll go again. Give a little wiggle. Make sure you keep your torch on the weld once it finishes, because it's still feeding gas. That protects the metal as it's still molten. We'll go another one here. Looks like we'll get away with that one without clamping it. So you want your tacks to be about 10 millimeters apart, a centimetre apart. Might go another one just there. You need to tack right along the whole system. If you don't tack all the way along and you just do a tack at that width, as you seam weld it together, it's going to separate. One will lift to go high and the other one will go low. You don't want that to happen. So we make sure it's absolutely 100% tacked in place before you start to seam weld it across. When you do the seam weld, you'll do one gap at a time. Then you'll come back over here and you'll do one over here, and then you'll do one over here, and that saves the distortion from running through the panel, because you're only making it hot in these little areas as you go. You find it starting to move a little bit, all you need is your dolly and your hammer and just planish those, and it'll bring it back to shape and make it nice and easy for you to continue on. I'll go another tack here. Alrighty, I'll just let that cool down a little bit. I might give it a planish so you can see how much nicer it makes it once it's actually had the hammer work done on it. Sorry mate, pushing you out of the way. Dolly and a hammer, planishing hammer. It's my favourite old planishing hammer. It's about 52 years old. Nearly as old as me.
I don't want to say that.
Be cheeky. Right, so we got the hammer, the dolly behind it, and you can hear the ting from the dolly. If you're hitting the dolly right, you can hear the beautiful noise and the sound it makes. Hear that tinging noise? Just fantastic. I used to love the old panel beating shops, and you hear the guys, and they, you know, if they get it right, it's just beautiful. Music to the ears, mate.
Something wrong with you.
Fucking hair's getting in the way. You can tell when it's off course. Listen to this. Tick, 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 tick. So you can see how beautifully that's been planished, and that's just come up nice and even again. You can't even tell, I mean, the tacks wouldn't even have been there otherwise. Nice and straight, smooth as. It gets to the stage where if you get really good at this, you can file finish and it doesn't need any filler at all. Alrighty, I'll give that a couple little seams along there so you can have another look at it. No filler rod. Excuse me, mate, I'll just grab that hammer right again. So you dress it after you've finished the weld. That's a good sign when you see the scale flaking off the top of the weld. The side angle might be a bit on that side there from this angle. I don't know. It might give you a bit better idea. Too much light.
Yeah.
What about this way? You can see it better.
Yeah.
Light showing off the panel again too.
Yeah, it's quite hard.
Anyway, that's how beautiful TIG welding is. So easy, simple. There's no heat. Bugger all heat in that. Bugger all distortion. And it's the way to go. Alright, I'll just turn this over so you can see the inside where the weld is on the inside and see how smooth it is as well. Get this stuff out of the way. See, I can put my hand on that already. Just beautiful. Alright, let's have a look at the inside. Smooth as. Got good penetration. That's what she's all about. Just a light sand on that when it's finished with one of those Scotch-Brite wheels with the silicon carbide in it. And etch primer and a bit of stone guard. Looks brand new. Might be a better angle like that, is it, Brett? I don't know. You can see the detail on the world a bit better there. Anyway, we hope it turns out for you guys. We hope you can see what's going on. If you've got any questions or you want something videoed and put on YouTube, come up with an idea or a problem, or you want to see a technique, just shoot me a comment and I should be able to maybe look at doing something for you to make sure that it helps you out with your project. That's what I'm here for. We're here to help people out. We don't want to be hiding secrets or anything like that. We want to show how it's done so it gets passed on. It's a bit of an old trade now. So yeah, if you've got any questions, just shoot a comment and I'll see if I can answer it for you. Alrighty, that's it for today. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and click like if you like it. If you don't, click don't. Tell me why you don't like it. I don't mind. Love having you on board and thanks for your support. Cheers.